Hello. How's everybody doing out there? Peasant Chat, that's right. Sunday, Peasant Chat. We're back after a brief hiatus on Thursday. I just want to take July 4th off. If holidays tend to hit on the day that I'm on, I'm probably going to take that day off, only because lately I've been working a lot on the Fairmont, working a lot on all the projects, and you don't want to get burnt out. You want to still be slightly motivated. So I honestly did a whole bunch of nothing on July 4th and just kind of hung out. So today what we're going to talk about is the same old shit that's been happening to Ford for a long time. Recalls. I did a little bit of research, and on the GM side of things, there have been a decent amount of recalls, but seemingly minor stuff that doesn't have to do with the car. I don't know, catching on fire or steering left and right by itself. So we'll talk about two situations where there's a recall for 21 plus Mustangs, meaning 21, 23. And then there's a specific recall for 24 Mustangs when it has to do with the brake light sensor, where it's falsely calibrated and it shows that it's low when it's actually not low. Now, the reason I mentioned that is because the Chevy recall recently in May or March, I think it's March, I'm not sure, was for tailgate, the tailgate actuating. The tailgate could fly off of the car or the truck, and it's not really going to affect how it drives. But when your brake sensor is failing, your steering can shudder left and right when you don't want it to. And when your clutch line becomes unclipped, bringing brake fluid to the header, I don't know. I think that's a little more serious. Also, I'm going to play you a clip from a guy who has an interesting angle on the EPA stuff. We talked about a couple of weeks ago that the EPA was the one responsible for mandating DPF and EGR stuff on diesel trucks. And since the Chevron deference was struck down, this guy makes the case that installing an EPA-approved DPF was illegal and that the EPA might have to pay for you to remove said equipment that was deemed to be illegal, because there is no congressional act that said that diesel trucks had to have DPF stuff, which is a huge deal because all these diesel guys that were hit up might be able to go back after the government, being some kind of class action situation. We'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly says hello to the people here. It always sucks. Oh my God, why is this not working? Let me make sure this volume is working. Let me make sure it's on Yeti Nano. There we go. Oh yeah, much better. DNAHperformance.com. Get all your parts at DNAHperformance.com. Fuck anyone else that cross-dresses or is fat. DNAH Performance is where you get your parts. Calamer's Admission, calamersadmission.com. He's up in Tennessee, has a big wasp nest on his 24 Mustang. Just sell it, bro. Even if it's at a loss, just sell it. That thing is a dud. Get it out of your life. LMP, Late Model Performance, gonna get the Corvette back Wednesday. It's gonna get picked up Monday. Hopefully, I can get that and get you some content. ZR1 stuff here Wednesday morning, 7:30 a.m. I'm supposed to have it, so we'll get video on that. He-Man! Nick Jameson, He-Man! Best cold everything on the market. I'll be doing a giveaway on Tuesday for PMAS stuff. PartsFarm.com. Everyone keeps hitting me up that PartsFarm has Magna Flows for sale. They don't fit my car because it's part of a catback. Unless it's the whole catback, I can't use it. PartsFarm.com. MFP Australia. MFP's back in. We're getting manifolds. We're getting crank supports. We're getting billet covers for DT500 coils. It's gonna be a good time. Check them out. MFP. Auto Solution. Oh, fuck, dude. I'm out of breath, dude. Like, Bellac, the best wheels. If you want to let everyone know that you are the capo of all capos and you don't want to be trifled with, show them that you got Bellacs on your absolutely legit, not drug dealer car. Clint Stroke a couple of times. Slow 99, Anthony, Pita Chiquito, Coyote Kelly, Abdullah Labasi, Jose Sanchez, Chris Cobb, Gabriel Menendez, Monty 540, Ale Al Husseini, Omar X, Valley 10 Speed, Frank Weaver. Valley 10 Speed, what the fuck is happening in California? Like, are people losing their minds on roll racing rules in California? You spin, you don't win. You got a camera of a guy taking the hit, leaving at the same time, then they don't want to pay. Bro, like, stop racing in California. They have lost their minds over there. Leon Phelps, Bryson Witt, Andy Ali, Dixon, Luis Nieves, Ski Mask Main, Joe Jackson, 03, SVT, Darwin Gomez, Toby Cockring, RoboStyle, Derek, Michael, Nick, CJM, B. Levesh, Eddie Howard, EPA Kilometers, Madison, D-Rock Fox, Millennial Dad, Rodney B, Tizzy, Ken Phillips, Cornfed Coyote, Space, Fraz, Evan Smith, Rizzy, JD Swag, Mark Christensen, Nate Dogg, 2 J's and 5 O's, Christopher Mitchum, Eli Garner, Garage Bill Coyotes getting a hurricane pretty soon. You guys in Houston, I don't know how many hurricanes and floods have to happen before you leave that fucking city. There's nothing good about that city. The people are great, but the city itself, it's trash. Time to get the fuck out of there. Josh Toho, Alfredo Morales, Joey G, Douche Did It, The Wolf, Cody, Troyner. The nice thing is, though, you could take your car to Buffalo Bayou and the insurance is going to pay for it because it's about to flood. Imagine knowing you're upside down on payments, especially Hellcat, Scat Packs, and Demons or whatever, and you know you're upside down on payments and you don't want to, like, have the car repoed. So you, knowing that a hurricane is coming to Houston, you can just park that bitch in Buffalo Bayou y se acabó el party. Peasant Jeff VCR, Alfredo Morales, Hila Gardner, Boosted, GP, Sick Suki, Brian, let's get all the way to the bottom. Oh my God, Paul Ponthieu, EPA, I ain't paying back nothing. Peter Chow, Paul Ponthieu, Country, Jared, Christian Duran, Hater Powered a couple of times, Joe Swish, EPA, tells Newsom's wife she forgot her 40, Scott, and Clean 93 GT. So let's hear about the 21 to 23 steering wheel issue on Mustang. This guy does a good job.
The steering wheel in some models to turn from side to side by itself. According to new reports, the problem stems from a secondary steering torque sensor that may have been calibrated incorrectly. Ford began investigating the issue back in May after learning about a steering issue from a supplier who I believe is Next Tier Automotive. There have been no accidents or injuries associated with the issue, so no big worry there. And really, it's not really a Ford issue. It's more of a supplier issue from my understanding. But either way, if you're driving one of those, you're certainly going to want the fix, which, like most things these days, requires a software update, specifically to the Mustang's power steering control module. Unfortunately, it does sound like it'll actually have to be plugged in and not done over the air, so you have to bring it into the dealership. Owners will begin to receive notifications about the problem on August 5th, but if you have any questions or concerns in the meantime, you can always, of course, contact your local Ford dealer.
There you go.
Ford just issued another
So that's happening. And then in an article from, where the fuck is this? Please, can you just get rid of it? Oh, my Lord. I think this is Ford Authority. So on Ford Authority, the 2024 Mustang supposedly is being recalled also. A 24 Mustang recalled over brake fluid warning light. Ford Motor Company is recalling the certain units of 24 Mustang due to an issue with the pony car's brake fluid warning light. The defect is in affected vehicles. The brake fluid sensor was not properly configured after a body control module service update, which can result in a constantly illuminated brake fluid level warning indicator. This may mask an actual low brake fluid condition if the vehicle owner assumes the warning indicator is triggered because of a malfunction. The hazards. If the low brake fluid goes undetected, it could lead to a loss of brake function, increasing. So basically, your brake light stays on after a body control module update. What the fuck is happening? And finally, listen to this guy make the case that the EPA might be liable in terms of the DPF systems on modern diesel trucks. He makes a good case.
Hello fans, one last video on the Chevron deference and related to delete emissions devices. Now, it is illegal per the federal statute to delete emissions device off of your vehicle. However, EGR DEF systems were installed originally at now illegal EPA mandate. So you can make the case that the device was installed illegally, causes harm, costs you money, which would give you standing, also be possibly a class action lawsuit where you could sue the EPA and have the government pay to have the emissions equipment taken off your vehicle and any damage caused by the emissions equipment fixed at the EPA's expense. Now, that is very possible. I've talked to a couple of lawyers today, and they actually say that there could be somebody out there filing a class action lawsuit for that. So, hello, fans.
So there you go. They're going to repeat. So, for you diesel guys out there, what troubles are attributed directly to the DPF and EGR systems on those things? Like, what issues can come up due to the malfunction or actual function of the diesel particulate filter on diesel trucks? And if you can prove that the DPF actually hurts miles per gallon, which you can, but how would you test that, right? You'd have to delete it. You can make the case that it gets full of soot on the, I would guess is the EGR situation. Gooked up sensors. Let's say if you have a fleet of trucks that have a DPF in it and they constantly cause you way more money to maintain because of the DPF system. If you can prove an injury, meaning damages, then it is possible that you can sue the EPA because the rule they made during their tenure using the Chevron deference doctrine can then now be reversed. But again, long shot, like ridiculous long shot. But the diesel community has a very good opening here, in my opinion. Nobody has been more vilified than the diesel community. But I understand that they didn't do themselves any favors by rolling coal in front of an EPA agent. That was really stupid of you. And anyone that makes roll coal tunes like on purpose, then you're liable also. But that's neither here or there. When it comes to this particular thing, if you can prove that the DPF has caused an injury, a loss of efficiency, or an issue with your vehicle or vehicles, if someone has deep enough pockets, you might be able to get off of I don't think EPA is going to all of a sudden say, well, we're not going to remove the DPFs. We're not going to remove the diesel particulate filters from these vehicles. They save the environment. But at what cost? And in terms of efficiency, in terms of fuel mileage, in terms of carbon buildup, in terms of maintenance to keep this going, at what cost is it worth having a DPF in every commercial truck, diesel truck? It is an interesting thing. I wonder if people like a Corey Willis is going to go after them. I don't think so. I was reading something the other day that back in March 15, 2022, he agreed to pay $3.1 million in criminal fines and civil penalties for the manufacture and sale of illegal delete devices and tunes for diesel trucks. So if Corey Willis who has paid up $3.1 million or is paying $3.1 million since 2022, Corey, can you get back at these people, or are you shit out of luck and you don't really want to poke the bear and become, get under the magnifying glass of the government any further because you've done your due diligence, you've gotten off of their radar and things are good? Or because of the Chevron deference, can you go back and hit them up and get some of this money back? But unfortunately, the money you're going to get back is going to be from us, the taxpayer. So I feel a certain way about that. When people say the government, I'm like, what do you mean the government? It's us. And all it's going to do is basically they're going to print more money. The inflation goes up because that's how it happens. You print more money, inflation goes up. And if a big class action lawsuit worth hundreds of millions of dollars is awarded to diesel shops, well, it's just us paying it. I wonder if this is like, fuck the money, just make it illegal so they can delete and go back and sell you delete tunes. I don't care. What about new GPF in cars now, though? That's a good one. I don't know what's going to happen. EPA says Alex is correct. I'm not going to do that. Because gas particulate filters, I don't know that are a widespread thing. I'm sure there's a couple of cars here and there that have a gasoline particulate filter in the United States, but I don't know of any. I don't know that that's going to... Because there are gasoline particulate filters in the UK, I don't know if it was an EPA mandated thing. And in light of the Chevron deference, if they mandated gasoline particulate filters on gasoline vehicles, then I think you can make the case that that is an illegal rule because they have no power to do so, and it all has to go through Congress. I don't know that one. Hater Power says the EGRs crud up the intake port like direct injected cars, but way worse. Itchy Bison says almost like Ford didn't do an R&D before releasing the new Mustang. EPA says bad gear is just upset because he owed me money. Delete that video right now. My diesel identifies as Ukrainian. The other thing about Houston is that you got hush money from there. Look, I like Houston people. I hated the city. If you've lived anywhere else and have done if you've lived anywhere else outside of Houston, you'll know how bad Houston is. So I don't understand why people stay. Maybe the job market is really good because it's a heavy oil town. A lot of money there. A lot of money to be made. A lot of refineries. A lot of people can just make dough there. There's a big, huge healthcare system there that employs a shitload of people. You won't catch me dead trying to live there. Someone puts a gun to my head, say, live there or live in Tampa. Tampa all day, every day. Yeah, the Diesel brothers, right? I remember they got hit up by the EPA. So anyone that has been hit up by the EPA, do they have some kind of standing because they can claim an injury based on a law that was implemented illegally because they didn't have jurisdiction over said industry based on the Chevron deference? Let's not forget trucks with DPF have to go into regen mode frequently too. Nick Summers says DOT inspector said he would pass deleted F550 for me. Alex Henderson says to regen DPF, they would need to make the filter reach 1300 to make soot turn to ash. To do so, they would inject extra fuel on the 7 and 8 cylinders to reach those temps and wash cylinders, kill turbos. At least we finally beat Medicare, beat it to death. Absolutely. Coyote Austin says, most people don't even know that their truck has a regen motor and just drive their trucks to the grocery store and shut it off early. I've had many customers that come in and need a force regen every time and money. Force regen time and money. Elverga Larga says, EPA doesn't need to pay us. We'll settle for the EPA getting neutered when it comes to passenger cars. Deference, not deference, motherfucker. Okay, so Chevron, motherfucker. Who the fuck? Let me see. So deference, pronunciation. Okay. I'm petty. I might be wrong, but I'm petty. You said it's, so you said it's deference, not deference. Let me see. Where is it? Where is it? Now I need to find it, motherfucker. Deference, not deference. Okay, so I might be wrong, but let me find the pronunciation. Let's go, bitch. I'll allow this time. Come on.
Deference.
You're right. I love looking it up.
Deference.
Can we go slower?
Deference.
Okay, so it is deference, not deference. I apologize. See, when I'm wrong, I'll admit it, but I need proof. Do you feel weird as a tuner when the EPA goes crazy with laws? Has any laws affected you? Of course. Alex, if you had to leave Florida, where would you go? Tennessee? Arizona? Dry fucking weather. If I'm leaving Florida, it's going to be somewhere dry. So west-ish, not nowhere in the east. The east is trash to me. I've been there, done that. I want to take a breath of fresh air and not have it be like 90% water. So, yeah. So I don't feel weird as a tuner. I feel that the industry, it has a shelf life. It's a sunset industry, in my opinion. It's just a matter, unless you go into standalone stuff, but in terms of volume, I don't think there's a market for tuners like us in our model. I think it'll just kind of segment itself to onesies and twosies and personal tuning, meaning like standalone tuners do. I don't know that standalone tuners can make $100,000-$300,000 a year unless they're traveling to tracks and they're required to not just tune the car, but wrench on the car. Like a lot of tuners don't just sit there on a laptop and just tune the car. A lot of them are asked to set bar angle, set wheelie bars, set this and that. I have no desire to do that. If tuning goes away, I don't tune. I'll tune my personal vehicles. I have experience in many different fields. I don't think tuning onesies and twosies and being up at 12 at night for somebody, it's not something I want to do at this age. Maybe when I was younger, sure. But at this age, about the last thing I want to do is tune somebody at midnight somewhere in Santo Domingo on some grudge shit. I don't care. I don't care. Come to Georgia Beach? No, thank you. Should be plenty of evidence for diesel owners. Same reason listed for why government vehicles do not use emissions. Alex, when's the 481X going into the Fairmont? So what happened? So I saw a video where, what's his name? I saw a video where Steve Morris was talking about Cletus having a Proline racing engines motor in his supposed Pro Mod that he's building, which has a fucking eagle theme. Like, Jesus Christ. So that makes sense to me because Steve Morris doesn't make that kind of motor. Steve Morris cut his teeth on drag and drive stuff. Pro Mod stuff is different. Why? Not necessarily the motor, but it's configured to take apart quickly. A lot of the things are O-ringed, like the manifold. Most of the stuff is O-ringed, so you can service the vehicle easy. And when it comes to Pro Mod stuff, you're going to expect to change stuff out, like rods, pistons. Like, it is expected that if you're running a Pro Mod that you're going to hurt the motor that weekend. Very rarely do Pro Mod guys that are pushing it to the edge, do they not blow something up. It's almost like you're going to blow it up. So you might as well have it configured to be serviceable. Steve Morris engines are not built like that. They're pretty complicated. They're pretty big. They're meant to be robust for the drag and drive crowd, wet deck. You're going to run coolant through them. Whereas a Pro Line or something, it is a Pro Mod or X275, I'm sorry, Pro 275 or LDR situation. So I totally understand Steve not being able to offer that kind of engine. And I wouldn't get that kind of engine from someone like a Steve Morris. If I was going to do a Billy Badass big block drag and drive motor, yes, I go to Steve Morris. If I want to do a Billy Badass Pro Mod deal, yeah, you go to Noonan, some Hemi 4.8, 4.9s, and you get or Pro Lines 481Xs. Maybe if Steve had a set of balls, they'd head up a class action. No way. Mississippi is the secret spot of the South. I love that no one wants to come here, drive around. It's easy state after state with huge swaths of land, but there's nothing to do, hater powered. They'll come to Tennessee for dry heat. No, I'm not looking at dry heat. Florida is muggy. You're saying if I left Florida. I don't want to leave Florida. Florida is like the last state of sanity. Did you see the law that they passed about sideshows? They said if you are in a sideshow driving, your license is gone for years, your car is gone. If you are watching a sideshow, you get a fine. So they're cracking down on sideshow stuff. What do you think about the lawn racing video with the TorqBooster? Yeah, that was interesting because they didn't understand at all what I was saying. In that video, I said, you have to trust that the wastegate opens. How many times have I seen a data log where air is passing through, let's say the TorqBooster, there's a delay in the opening of the wastegate, but the air that's pushing the wastegate open has already made it past the wastegate. It's already past it. The subsequent air then opens up, so that initial hit usually spikes to like 1.9, 2.0. I've seen 2.2, depending on the pulley configuration. So I'm like, wait a minute, it goes up, then it bleeds off. There is no instant actuation of that. That's why I tell people, just pulley down. Forget the TorqBooster, just pulley down. If you have a Vortec V3 or V7, get a 3.6 pulley on there. If you have a Pro Charger, whatever makes 10, 11, 12 PSI, get some octane booster. But this weird notion that you're going to have this thing give you false torque, that's just a sales tactic. And understand this, guys. I'm not here to sell you anything. I stopped selling stuff when I worked at VMP, and then I worked at a Houston-based automotive shop. So that's where I was selling stuff. At Lund Racing, I don't have to sell shit. So I can be, hey, what do you want to do? Do you want to go drag racing? Yep. Well, get a positive displacement supercharger. Edelbrock, Roush, Whipple, or VMP. If you want low-end torque. This weird notion that you're going to buy an add-on to make your Sentry feel torqueier, but then hopefully it bleeds off enough to only make 10 PSI at higher RPMs is a Band-Aid for the lack of torque. I'd rather you just pulley down to a 3.6 or a 3.3 octane booster or race gas, and the stock fuel system should supply close to, based on my white car's data logs, 800 or so rear wheel horsepower on Sunoco 260 GT, C16, or a really robust octane booster. So the video was just full of misinformation, of course. And of course, the people that dislike me jump on it. Think about it this way. We have 5,000 unique customers on HP Tuners. We have over 1,000 LRXs sold. We have still remaining out in the wild thousands of Lund Racing engages. I would rather look out for the 6,000 to 7,000 to 8,000 customers that we have out there than to please 7 people that wish I was on their side. When I was a free agent, oh my God, my inbox was full of people trying to help them promote their tuning, help them promote their products, help them. Remember on this chat, there were people on this chat trying to buy the chat. So I'm like, look, y'all could go ahead and have some fun, but I'm going to look out for the 8,000 plus customers Lund Racing has. And I'm going to say, this is my vast experience. I have way more experience. Lund collectively has way more experience than any other tuner combined. You put every single other Coyote tuner on the planet, put their experience here, and then you put Lund Racing's experience here. It's probably 100-to-1 experience. So when I see certain situations that are not favorable, I go, hey, I'm going to look out for you because I'm not trying to sell you a product. If you want to go drag racing, I wouldn't recommend this. I would recommend you just get a positive displacement supercharger, Whipple, VMP, E-Force, or anything Kenny Bell even. And I think that blower sucks. I would rather you do that. Everyone else is selling you product. Everyone else is telling you you need it because they need to make money on it. I don't need to make money on shit. All I do is try to look out for the customer. And if my customers are happy on the Lund Racing side of things, I don't give a shit. The rest is just noise. I have a Gen 1 stock bottom end. People keep telling me that the G3 ESS, but the G2 says it can make enough to blow the car up. So Millennial Dad, this is what you got to do. Buy the superchargers that you can grow with the best. If you're going to limit yourself to a G2, G3, a G2, why not get a G3X and only put a 120 millimeter pulley on it? Nobody stays at a certain power level. Everybody wants more. It's a drug, and we are the dealers. So you got to understand, if you're going to buy a blower and you're going to spend $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, buy the one that you could do the most with. A G3X, you can go up to 900 rear wheel horsepower. So simple. Get a 120 millimeter pulley, limit yourself to 10 or 11 PSI, and you're done. And then if you ever decide to get the bottom end worked up, get some built parts or get an illuminator or get a FFRE motor built or an illuminator, a high compression version, your current blower now just needs a smaller pulley to make more power. So don't limit yourself by buying a G2. I would always opt for a G3X. That's, to me, that's like in terms of centrifugal superchargers, the best one you can get that can do the most. I don't like ProCharger stuff because of the drive system. Vortex stuff has a very complicated bracket system. And if you get a sealed V3, if you put anything smaller than a 3.6 pulley, you'll overspin the oil slinger and it'll cause issues. Unless you get a V7, which I think has oil feed from the motor. So G3X, 120 millimeter pulley, have a good day. Yeah, so you got to understand, they're going to pile on because it's a support group of haters. Imagine everyone's talking about me. Ain't nobody talking about them. There is nobody ganging up on anybody because if a tree falls in the wood and there's no in the woods or in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, doesn't make a sound. Again, no one is there to hear the noise. I have Bellax Series 2 on my 11 GT500. They're baller, man. Buy them if you like them. Okay. Thoughts on 1700 horsepower full-size F-150 lightweight TBM brakes on a daily? Stupid. Really stupid. I saw that they have small brakes for the F-150. I don't recommend small brakes for any heavy vehicle. I think every heavy street vehicle should have a robust braking system, not something that's meant to be lightweight. Proline is very hands-on with their motor program. Motors go back to them regularly, and a lot of the time the tuners are their guys. How much you think full titanium chassis from CJ Race Cars? Who the fuck knows? Off topic. I have an opportunity to trade my Z06 for a 19 Celine Black Label. Keep your Z06. Keep your Z06. Keep your Z06. Keep your Z06. I can't tell you how easy that decision is. Mississippi have natural BBLs. Hey, Alex, how's the tuning future looking for 24 F-150? Oliver, the same as the 24 Mustang. What do you guys think? Maybe that Madman becoming a Dark Horse member. What do you guys think is the future for 24 Mustang tuning? Is it good? Do you see positive news coming down the pipeline? Or do you think it's going to be difficult to tune? Same as 24 F-150. Remember, guys, the 21 and up F-150 did not become tunable until 2 years. It is 2024. I don't think the Mustang will be tunable within a year. And we're creeping up on a year since the Mustang was released. What month did they release the 24 Mustang back in 2023? Wasn't it late August or early September. So we are 1 or 2 months away from the 1-year anniversary of the 24 Mustang being released, and no tuning has been even closely talked about. At least you don't have to work for VMP, convince people to buy a Whipple with the same lid for China with a different logo. Could you imagine? Yeah, that was brand suicide. And we talked about it on the show when VMP decided to... Look, I'm in talks with Magnuson, but I'm also in talks with Roush. So, unfortunately, they moved too slow for me. And they need to hurry up if they want to get a blower on one of my cars. There is a timeline. Because if MFP sends me a lower manifold that bolts onto Coyote heads, but the bolt pattern up top is a GT500 supercharger, I'm going to go with an MFP lower and the 4.5 Whipple on the 9.5-to-1 illuminator. So y'all need to really hurry up. But I really wish I knew the actual thing that happened. But even with Roush is kind of big. Like with VMP and Roush, the reason they kind of broke apart, in my opinion, was the cost of the die to re-up on the Gen 2 and Gen 3. And then somehow, who owned it, right? Who owned the Gen 3 die? I would suspect it's Magnuson, because it said Magnuson on the blowers. The Gen 3s and Gen 3Rs that were made by Magnuson had Magnuson labeling on them, so I would think that they had the tooling. If VMP still had the tooling or owned the rights to the tooling, they would still be offering new rear feed 2650s on the shelf. But I don't know what happened to make that relationship go sour. I'm not on the note. I don't know anybody at VMP anymore. Joe was gone, which was interesting. I could talk about that some other time. I know why he left. I have a sneaking suspicion as to why Joe left, and it has nothing to do with him wanting to tune on his own. Thank you, Hater Powered, for the air conditioner fun. Today, I was sweating balls in that garage. V7 is oil fed from the engine. Thank you, Justin Michael. That's a fat ass tree. Keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome. Thank you, D-Rock Fox. Sold my bolt-on Gen 2 manual PP1. Looking to spend 45Ks. S650 or C7. Why would you ever consider an S650? Why would you consider an S650? It's not tunable. And you're going to have a Roush blower available soon, which is cool. And a Whipple blower. That's it. On pump gas with 55-pound injectors, supposedly. So you're limited. Skip the brakes, get lighter wheels, and package first. But Brett LaSala says the TBMs will stop at F-150. Sales, sales, sales. Anytime somebody says a product will do something and they're selling that product, you simply don't believe them. You don't say they're lying. You just say, yeah, you will see that. Guys, when I worked at VMP, I thought VMP had the best tuning on the planet. You have to do that. That's what you do. If I worked at Boeing, I'm like, Boeing makes the best airplanes, right? I worked at this certain candle company when I was younger. They make the best candles. I work at Lund Racing. They are the best tuner. Maybe you say, well, do you believe it? Well, look at the records. Look at the amount of customers we have. Look at the market share that Lund Racing has on the tuning side of things. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not selling a product. At VMP, I was actually on the phone making sales. And it was so stupid. Not saying I recommend them, but TBM makes a street series that looks pretty robust. If I'm going to get street brakes on a car, it's going to be a Willwood 6-piston Billy Badass shit. Not TBMs. No offense to them. I don't like the tiny brake manufacturers on heavy street vehicles. Damn, 35 already. Oh, hey, Slow 99, 35 months. Thank you so much. You're going to be Holly Hiram real soon. Maniac S550 says, I blew the front tires trying to stop Friday night. 526 in the On3 kit. Motherfucker was rolling. Yeah, how were your IATs? That On3 kit IATs are like 180. Bro, we got to get a meth kit on that sucker ASAP. You see Toby pushing the Amory to get on the Soft podcast? Yeah, so it was interesting. Toby's a good guy. Maybe you don't like his delivery method, but Toby's actually a good guy. Dendurian. He was on the podcast of the Go Soft, and he's like, you know Alejandro Flores from Lund Racing? He goes, no, I don't know who that is. I'd never heard of him. You know the guy that you made 2 podcasts of? You gave two retards a platform to talk shit on me, two separate podcasts talking shit on me. And then Toby goes, Alex has been so helpful and so nice. You know Alex from Lund Racing, right? He goes, no, I don't know who he is. I was like, okay, gotcha. Literally your whole show is basically trying to get Lund's attention lately. And the Lunds will not do your podcast. So as long as I'm breathing, the Lunds will not, I don't think they'll do it even if I fucking pass away pretty soon, because it's cringeworthy, the shit that goes on that podcast. But I appreciate Toby reaching out and trying to put in a good word, but you don't need to do that. I'd rather be hated by these retards. It's like 8 guys. I have 8,000 customers at Lund Racing, us combined. I'd rather care about them than these 8 guys that just habitually hate and make a hater support group on Facebook. I think 24 Mustang was the Mustang week in 23. So mid-September, C706 all day with the DCT in the GT500. Z706 all day with the DCT. I don't know about that, EPA. A C706 fully worked up versus a DCT GT500. I'm sorry, I got my money on the GT500 depending on the mods. Took a 2,000 mile 2010 ZR1 out of storage for 2 years. Been misfiring sporadic, idle. Also CEL for misfire 2 and 4. Track control on. I figured new fuel, plugs, battery, and other advice. That's probably right about it. Plugs, wires, fuel. See how it goes. You took it out of storage, and does it still have the same crappy fuel in it that it went into storage? AJ says 24 probably won't be tunable until the top models like GT500, GTD, Boss, etc. come out. C8 didn't get tunes until Z06 deliveries started. 180, damn. Yeah, it is really hot. Sonic AMG says, that's why I don't drive a Mustang, peasants. Joking, I miss my Gen 2. The Auto GT became the LT4. Because the LT4 is robust and can be paired with the manual. Okay, what's happening? Alex, I went with a new 5-inch intercooler. The IAT issue was the 3-inch intercooler. Cool. I mean, I hope you took data logs of that pass. What did it go, 5.2 in the 8th? 5.2 in the 8th is serious for a guy that doesn't know anything about tuning. For a shit ass On3 kit. Hasn't been on Christian Dry, hasn't been on this chat. Mike S says Roush has loads of money and unlimited resources. I wish they would have come out with their own supercharger for the 24 and F-150s. See, you got to understand though, they don't. I wonder if Roush segments their business and they segment it in such a way where it has to pay for itself. Meaning the side-by-side injection molding department can't pay for the blower department. And the P51 rebuild room can't pay for the side-by-side department. Like, it all has to make money on its own. So Roush can't say, we got a bunch of money in the coffers. Why don't we just make our own blower? And, let's be honest, if Roush wanted to make their own supercharger for the RS3, they would have. But they probably saw what's going on at Magnuson and said, wait a minute. There's probably 300 to 400 blowers just sitting there, ready to go right now. We can get it at an insane discount. And guys, the Odin isn't a great blower, but it's not a bad blower. And we have yet to see how good it is with 2 80mm throttle bodies as opposed to 161mm throttle body. I like how they make the math work. They go, well, you know, they take the measurements like from this way. Let me see, where do I have a throttle body here? Let me see if I have a throttle body here. No, I thought I had a throttle body here. But the way they measure the throttle bodies on those things is kind of funky. It's not like a bore gauge where they're like, oh yeah, this is 180mm, blah, blah, blah. They measure it like crosswise. And when it's an elliptical, it actually comes down. So 280s feeding 2 sides of the blower probably makes good power. And it's a stock throttle body. So the control is easy. When you have a big oval, you get potentially flexing issues, binding issues, shaft issues with in conjunction with the heat difference. Let's say if the blower heats up the outside of the throttle body and the blade grows at a different rate than the throttle body housing, then you can see a difference. And you saw what happened with VMP. And I mentioned that to them when I was working there. I said, why do you have a brass blade when the outside is aluminum? Which one grows faster? And in my experience, bronze or brass, when heated up, expands way quick, like super quick, almost quicker than aluminum. So they probably went to a stainless blade that takes longer to grow so that the aluminum housing can grow and there is no binding on the blade. I think Roush is smart to have Magnuson supply the superchargers if they don't have to pony up any dough and they can get them at a crazy discount. They measure from the tank. Yeah, ran the whole tank and added that little Lucas Oil injector cleaner bottle, blah, 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 blah. I don't think you understand that C706 fully bolted on, Alex. I don't care. Get me a 1,000 horsepower C706 and a 1,000 horsepower GT500. My money is on the GT500. Plain and simple. Toby said something good on there. Might see what happened there. No, he didn't say anything life-altering. Basically, he goes, hey, orale, Holmes, why do you think the Camaro, because Toby has a BMW, I think an M4. He has an Audi. Kid has money. The kid has money. He has a ESS Gen 3 Mustang. He has a Whipple LT Camaro. The kid has money. So he has Camaro experience and Mustang experience. So the Skullsoft guy goes, orale, Holmes, why do you think the Camaro is a better NA motor than the Coyote? And then Toby goes, I don't know. What do you think? And he goes, I don't know, and when he had Brett LaSala on, Brett LaSala literally explained it to him like a child. I was like, well, he's just making out of muscle, out of cubic inches, out of size. You have more displacement. You have more grunt. You have more size. As opposed to a small, high revving, low cubic inch motor. You have a high cubic inch motor that makes all the grunt down low, coupled with the 10R80. It's going to be pretty robust. So Toby, actually, I love the fact that he turned it around on the dude because I'd love to just have him talk. Like, hey, why do you think the Coyote's so good? I don't know. Why do you think it's so good? What has to be done to the tune in order to run return style fuel system? Okay. If it's a Gen 1, 2, or Gen 1 or 2, the injector data is different depending how the tune is set up. Different tuners have different ways of doing it. But in my experience, the injector data is different if it's return style. If you go to the Injector Dynamics website and you look for the data for ID 1050's conventional, returnless fuel system versus return, it's different data. On Gen 3, you have to let the car know that there's going to be lower fuel pressure than it's currently seeing, so it doesn't throw a low fuel pressure code. And I'm being very generic about that because I'm not going to give away any secrets. Sold my 392 scat pack back to SF50 PP2. Way more fun. Shaft binding is the worst. Hey, yo. Juan says, I don't like the 24 Whipple cold air intake. It does look stupid. It bends close to 180 degrees, but according to Bondlebird, it flows amazing. When I think of the 24 Mustang, I think dual throttle body. That's what I think. I go dual throttle body, dual throttle body, dual throttle body. I don't think Gen 4. I don't think tablets on the dash. I don't think anything. It's an S550 and a half. So what is the feature? The biggest feature on a 24 Mustang that sets it apart from the 23? Dual cold airs, dual throttle bodies. So when you open your hood and you have dual cold airs looking like ass cheeks squeezing into one big throttle body, you go, that's weird. When you open the hood and you see two throttle bodies on a blower with the two factory cold airs, I go, that's a feature of the 24 Mustang. My question was, excluding price, would you go C7Z06 or GT500? This is why. So what's it take to make 1,000 horsepower on a GT500? Let's say the car weighs 4,000 pounds. You need shitload of boost, a return style fuel system, ID 1700. So I don't know what, a 2.4 upper or 2.6 upper and a 20%, something dumb, and a port. You got to take the supercharger to Greg and say, Greg, port it. Greg ports it. You put some bricks in it, a lid, whatever. You can get a Predator lid from VMP or whatever the fuck. Apex Predators. Stupid name, stupid logo, everything's stupid. E85, ID1700s, complete return style fuel system. So you're a fuel system, E85 tune headers, and a shitload of boost from making power. What's it take to make 1,000 horsepower on a C7 Z06? Go! Go! Auxiliary fuel system, right? Return style fuel system, right? Built motor, right? Like built motor, right? Am I off on that? Late model performance, are you here? Isn't it a big task based on what I've seen on your channel? Isn't it a big task to make 1,000 on a Z06? Don't you need a 2650? I think so. I'm going to look on his channel. Yeah, a whole different blower, a built motor. Okay, so let's go to YouTube. Let's go to Late Model Performance. And they actually featured a Z06 Corvette. Built shit, this and this and that. And we'll see what it took to get there and how much power it made. Because I don't remember it making 1,100. I don't remember many of the Chevys he fucks with making 1,100. We'll blow it up. Magnuson, 2650. Hits the dyno. So let's see if they talk about what's done to it.
Poured it. Yeah. And
Okay, so.
Literally remember Fuzz showing me that. He's like, yo, look at this shit. He's showing it to me. I'm like, oh, Lord.
so, if I had to guess, it's probably somewhat of the reason why that happened. But, anyways, so we did a 416.
Boom! Done! A 416. Bye! Now, again, we're making the comparison. C7 Z06 like this, I think, right? This is C7 Z06. Built motor, right off the rip.
A 4 low side, 65 overs, LPE high side pump.
Whatever the fuck he just said.
16. A 4 low side, 65
A 4 low side,
overs, LPE.
60. What the fuck is he talking about?
So we did a 416. A 4 low side, 65 overs, LPE
4 low side, 65 over? What the fuck are you talking about?
high side pump.
No!
Pulleyed it a little harder. Used his current heads that were on it. They were already poured it. Yeah, and we cleaned up a bunch of crap. Our heat exchanger on this, I think, too. It already had an expansion tank and intake and stuff, so I think that's really... I'm probably missing something.
That's all. We just built the motor, ported heads, E85. Everything. We did everything to this motherfucker. Now, a hub dyno shows a little bit more power than a chassis dyno, where you're actually tires on a roller. A hub dyno shows a little bit more, but not a lot more. So let's see what this thing made.
Time for some E.
So we're waiting for ethanol. Let's just talk about ethanol. Look at the license plate. It's all charred up. Okay, let's just get to it. Let's just get the power numbers. I don't want to hear the run. Let's get a full pull in. Come on, Alec Bledsoe. Give me a full pull. So these people that want to compare a GT500 that can make 1,000 with boost and E85.
And if on here and there.
Yeah, we got a little bit of
18 pounds of boost.
drop off there. What does that say? 8.
Okay. So, let's just get to the end. Jesus. Okay, here we go. Okay.
It's still...
Oh my God, guys, come on. Come on. And again, this is not an indictment on Alec Bledsoe. I respect the shit out of him. He just happened to have chosen an inferior platform. You need everything to make 1,000 on a C7 Z06. Built motor, ported dick, assholes, low side, D75 uppers, 88 low, whatever the fuck he was saying. You need everything to make 1,000 horsepower on a hub dyno. 1,000 horsepower on a GT500, pulley it to death, E85, sacabo and party. It's also 600 pounds different. So what's a C7 Z06 weigh? C7 Z06 weight. That's a good one. 3523. Okay, then you might have something there. because a 2020 GT500 is a fat mother. 4,100 pounds. Okay. Yeah. So, but you gotta fucking build the motor. Guys, you gotta build the motor. On a roll, does it matter that much? I don't know. It'll be interesting if Alec Bledsoe can find himself. Boy, I wish I had a lot of money. Like a lot of money. I'd be bringing you guys the coolest fucking content like this. I'd find a guy. Actually, I'd have Alec Bledsoe be like, hey, can I get that guy's number? I want to put him up against a Lund 1,000 horsepower GT500 and do a 60 roll. And we'll see. Peasant question, is buying a used factory 2.3 Trinity blower for my 09 GT500 a bad idea? No. SVT chopper. That is one of the better things to do on a 07 to 09 GT500, even a 10. A Trinity blower swap is so great on those cars. You will love it. Corvette with stock motor will blow up at 800 horsepower. Hey, Alex, for drag racing, F-150 driveline more robust than an S550 GT? Yes. I see Mustang guys do a lot more upgrades to the IRS when adding power, but guys with the F-150s just add boost and send it. Yes. For drag racing, absolutely. David Crunkleton, nice to see you here. 2650 heads cam, full exhaust, fuel system, port injection, clutch, build trans, stock, short block, can make it for a little bit. Boy. And I wouldn't make 1,000 on any Chevy stock rods. These rods are like saltine crackers. Carter's Gaming says, at the start of the video, usually there's a mod list for like 15 seconds. Glass Roof Coyote says, rotating assembly and 32 fuel lobe on a Cam 8 PFP ET. Oh my God, fuck that. Fuck that. But Alex, you can swap a cam in 15 minutes. Oh, I love that. Alex at LMP, the LMP Stage 4 is $34,000. The Alex at LMP Stage 4 is $34,000. Jeez. Oh my God, oh my God. SVT Chopper, no, that's an awesome blower to do it. Yes, if you don't have a car. No, you don't. Okay. Cam Meth and a 2650. That guy blew his motor. Sixsuki, that guy blew his motor? I hope not. I'm gonna be data logging the shit out of mine. And I don't distrust Alec Bledsoe. The problem is the fuel system is very close. And if I see that thing starting to trail off in AFR up to 12.0, I'm a psycho. I let off. At 20 PSI, regardless if the heads are flowing or not, I am not going to risk a car on E50 and Sunoco 260 mix at 12.0 air fuel. Nope, it's got to be slammed at low 11s. Ford Master says, check out Give Back the track event for your ZR1. Badass event. Run the oval. Fifth gear puts the C706 in a small hole from a roll. If it's an 8-speed, the comparison would have to be tested. Alex, ZR1 would make 1,000 stock motor all day. I know, but it needs a lot of boost. Nah, stock motor? It needs ported. Okay, what's a stock motor? The moment you put a camshaft in a ZR1, it's not the stock motor anymore. The moment you put a Kong 2650 on it, I mean, it's an aftermarket blower. So a 2.3 cam, ported heads, stock bottom end, yes. But you need a cam, you need E85, you need a lot to make 1,000 on a ZR1. You need to get into the motor. This is why, look, guys, the reason I love Coyote so much is not because I think they're a better motor to mod. I think they're a better motor that you don't have to mod. See, let's not really picking and choosing here. If I had the money, I'd be small block Ford, 460 cubic inch, 12-to-1 compression, solid roller cam, everything. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like on that shit. Torque, great horsepower potential, sounds amazing. But the Coyote is so good that you don't have to do anything to it. So that's why I think the motor is great. The moment you want to start getting after it, you can only trust one or two people to build it properly. One of them being Ford. The other one is FFRE, where you want to make serious horsepower. Alex, what's serious horsepower? Anything over 1,200 horsepower, anything over 1,000 horsepower, in my opinion, is serious horsepower. So I don't think the Coyote motor is the best motor. I think the Coyote motor is the best motor that you don't have to mod. So I put it up against any motor aside from the Hemi, because the Hemis with boost and fuel can also make 1,000 or 1,100. Stop by to drop a like. Alex, would you boost a 13 Boss all day, every day? Rebuild DCT or vet engine? Super peasant question. Rebuild of DCT or a vet engine? DCTs are like $20,000. No, Sixsuki. is saying the guy blew up the stock motor before taking it to LMP. Gotcha. Stop at Alex Corvette will stop on that GT500. I don't think so. Well, yeah, now that it's 700 pounds lighter, I don't know. See, from a roll, how much does weight matter? That's an interesting one. I've seen some GT500s well into the low fours, 60 to 130, full weight. Again, all the shit. You can make 1,000 horsepower on some stock LS stuff mostly. Here we go, DeMarcus Dinkins. Stop the fucking cap. Stock bottom end? Sure. Cam, ported heads. Come on, stop it with this stock stuff. A C4 ZR1 is nothing with anything. Okay. People are arguing stupid shit. Stock motor for means factory sealed, same. I got a Backdraft 427 small block 490 horsepower West Palm Beach. If you want some content to show power to rate. R&D diesel? Are you serious or are you fucking with me? Because if you have a 427 small block Ford, 490 wheel horse, you better let me borrow that sucker for a morning. Not a whole afternoon, just a morning, Saturday morning. 8 to 12, I'll have it back to you, washed up, cleaned up, everything. All I'm going to do is drive it, get my driving impressions, and get you 60 to 130. And then probably shake because I want one. If you are serious, ydbt4life@gmail.com. Again, ydbt4life@gmail.com. If I break the transmission, ain't my shit. If it blows up, ain't my shit. But I'll try not to. I'd love that. I'd love to review some fast cars. Palm Beach has some of the most ridiculous cars. And like no one says, hey, Alex, here's a Ford GT. Go drive it. Nobody says that. They say, here's my clapped out Camaro. Please review it. Fuck that. The real question would be, which one would you drag race? C7Z all day. GP with the M3 says C6 ZR1s are the happiest around 850 with stock bottom end with a cam, of course. Hater Power says, I was shocked how soon you even have to sleeve an LS engine. Most of the baked out stuff is shitty iron block. I thought those LS were 1,000 horsepower, $500 engines. SCT guys are wild, helping my buddy right now. This motherfucker's tune is named Buttfuck Tune. Yes, he's an On3 guy. Okay. If you had to rebuild the DCT for $20,000, might as well get the manual to swap it. Good luck making it communicate with the CAN bus that doesn't cost you $20,000 to make that happen. Yeah, but if you have by a Hemi, you're sliding with Pookie on the ops. Alex, how can Breadman claim valve lash when those motors have hydraulic lash adjusters? Exactly. If I give you something for a valve train issue, you should suggest replacing everything in the valve train. Imagine I said, the bottom end looks good, leave it alone. I think you should get new cams, refresh the cylinder heads, new springs, and new hydraulic lifters. Nope. Reused everything and then blamed it on not him. We'll have a talk one day. I guarantee it. I said, the talk's going to be this. Hey, why are you talking all that shit? Because you fucked me over and I want money. And unless I get money, I'm going to keep talking shit till my last breath. Hey, Alex, how could you tell if a Boss or two has the same block? No idea. What are we talking about? Got to watch replay in the morning. Going to drop a like. Thank you so much. David Crunkleton removed the message. I'm in locks. I got you. Okay. R&D Diesel. If you're lying to me, don't get my hopes up. ydbt4life@gmail.com. Say, Alex, can you come by, show you the car, show me pictures of the car. And on a Saturday morning, bright and early, I'll be there at 7 a.m. I will take the car out, take it for a spin, get some videos, rolling shots, sound clips, 60 to 130, do a nice wide angle shot, talk about my experience with it, and give it to the people because I've been talking about a Cobra for a long time. Hey, ID 1000. Hey, I'd 100% bring my car down to let you take it for the day. Hater powered. But what is it, a fucking S197? Come on. At the road course, the C7's edge out the GT500, stock for stock or modded. Weight is killer and a better chassis. I agree. Look, don't you think... I wanted to get into road racing, but not get into it to become like super good at it, just to have an extra thing to do. I'm building a couple of cars and I'd love to just drag race a GT500, run that 8 and be able to sell it. And if it doesn't sell, cool, I'll keep it, make it a street car and do my thing. The Hush Money is a long-term project. I want it to go 7s. Regardless of how it gets there, I want it to go 7s. The S197 needs to go 9.0 or 9.1. It gets sold. That car is not a long-term project. I want it to go low 9s, and it's not going to do with the stock motor. That stock Gen 1 motor is going to blow up, and I'm going to try to go 9s on the stock motor and then sell that motor and get a Gen 3 2-1 this situation there and get after it that way. Time is money, right, Alex? And LS is cheap up front, but you're spending a ton in labor time. Best supercharger to use for Gen 1 Coyote. Again, nobody knows what you're trying to do, so nobody knows. LS guys love to claim stock block. Then you find out it has rods and pistons, but call Coyote guys full of shit for sleeving the stock cast. So, when I think stock motor, it's stock motor. No modifications. Not one motherfucker. Where is it? Where's not one motherfucker? Too high. Not one motherfucker. Dude, I always lose it. Canelo. No, that's not it. Nothing is over. I got to find it. Because if not, then I'm not good. I'm not right. Shitster. No. Dude. Oh, here we go.
Not one motherfucker.
You have, let's say, a 2018 Mustang motor. The stock intake manifold. Stock cylinder heads, stock cam, stock everything. Intake to oil pan. That's stock. The moment you take the intake out and you put a sniper, a plasma man, not stock. Now it becomes stock long block. And let's say you put a set of GT350 cylinder heads on it, but you have the stock bottom end. Now it becomes stock bottom end. So when you say stock motor, LS guys, don't talk to me about a 5.3 bottom end with Billy badass heads, badass kill the Dolphins cam, and a Holly high ramp. Like, stop that. Pictures with a car with a milk jug, or you're not about it, you're not wrong. Oh, by the way, guys, stay on the lookout. Every 3 days, I'm going to be releasing a new standalone video on that dating channel. I already have 6 videos in the pot already scheduled. So that means every 3 or 4 days, you're going to see a new dating channel video on that dating channel. Saturday morning, Alex Fitness Splat. I think a stock Gen 1 sealed over a machine shop building a Coyote. I don't think so. I have a cam sprocket that proves you shouldn't cut the key. Me too. And kilometers. Kilometers, you have the gray 12 GT500 that went 9s in Rocky Mountain Drag Week? Is that you? Not even a little ring gap. That 427 is making 593 on the engine dyno. Obviously, drivetrain loss will take power. R&D diesel. If a 2,500 pound car makes 490 rear wheel horsepower, that is, people don't understand how scary that is. Please tell me you have a sticky tire on there and not some radial TA where I'm going to kill myself. I need to have a sticky tire on there so I can actually have some fun and not roll into the throttle everywhere I go. And it probably has a TKO 600, so I got to shift it at 6,000 RPMs. Breadman will be on the Ghost Off podcast next. He'll ask, what was that yellow thing you like to build motors with? And he has a trigger like it turns bolts. The Ryobi drill or the DeWalt drill. What about OPGs, Alex? No. My Jake's truck. Jake from Power by the Hour has a 1,000 rear wheel horsepower truck, stock motor, stock intake manifold. Actually, I'm wrong. Stop. Has an 18 intake manifold. So he has a stock long block, has an 18 Mustang intake manifold. So Jake has a stock long block, stock OPG, stock crank sprocket, stock long block, 1,000 rear wheel horsepower with this turbo kit. Grandpa's Race Car said, what's up, Theo? I'm going to catch a replay in my semi tonight. You spend a little more tea on this previous dating experience. Should be entertaining. Yes. Going to be a good time. Regarding dating, can you create a divorce channel? What's your max at what? I stopped. So if you're talking about Lund Flex Tunes, if you're talking about lifting, I stopped trying to do heavy stuff. All I did was get hurt trying to do ego lifts. I can still bench 3 plates. I can still squat 4 plates. I can still deadlift 4 plates. I don't do it anymore, though. I just don't do it anymore. It's all about the control of the weight, how I concentrate on. It's not ego stuff anymore. It's all about maintaining or gaining strength, but not just powerlifting because I'm 46 years old. I'm not going to go out there and just fuck my shit up just to prove something to somebody when I'm not on testosterone. I'm not on any TRT. I'm not on shit. This is all natural shit. So I'm not looking to break something. Oh, I know. One guy commented it was slow. So the, how fast was the Foxbody 60 to 130? 8 something? What the fuck was the Foxbody 60 to 130? 8 something? Let me see. Alejandro Flores. Let me see. Alejandro Flores Foxbody 60 to 130. 89 gets a drag pack, 6130 draggy. What is the most up-to-date draggy pass on that deal? Notchback attempts 9s after new carburetor installation. Didn't it go like 8s?
Rolling out, maybe.
Let me see. Yes, it went like 8 something, right? Let me see. Let me see. 894. What the fuck? Now this was a 427 suspected mild 427 at 10-to-1 compression. Had a brawler carburetor, Victor Jr., SVO turbo swirl cylinder heads, 1.7 rockers, pump gas. So imagine, and this was 460 rear wheel horsepower, or 450, in a 3,100 pound car. Now take out 600 pounds and add 30 or 40 horse. That's going to be serious. That's going to be super serious. See, before it was 10, 11 or so. And now, or the last time that I had it before the nitrous killed the cylinder, or the gasket, was 860 to 130. So 890, 60 to 130 is serious. So imagine 30 more or 40 more horse and 500 pounds lighter. Holy shit, I didn't even realize the shift light worked. Look at guys, look at the shift light. I had no idea it worked. Look at it. This cover is so jacked up. Keep an eye on the shift light. There it is. I can't believe it worked. I had no idea it worked. In 84-degree heat, you know, hey, say what you want about that car. That guy got a deal. But I needed that money to build these other cars because, man, it was just getting stupid out here. Alex, those testosterone levels drop you? I haven't gotten tested, to be honest with you. You know, things are, I'm sure they're lower than when I was in my 20s, but I don't know how low. Here we go. By the way, never use a gym bathroom to dump. I've never dumped in a gym bathroom. I started taking protein powder and pre-workout. That shit got me laying down law in the bathroom. No, thank you. We need a nice gym blog. No, thank you. As it's old age, and I resemble that remark. I thought about getting twin turbo for my truck. Get some EcoBoost badges. It's called That Dating Channel. What time we lifting today, big man? Ya estamos viejos. Exactly that. Look, I like lifting heavy, but not getting hurt. And I've gotten hurt since I was in my 20s. I've had hamstring issues, low back issues. I could do Zercher squats. I can do almost 3 plates on Zercher squats, but they jack up my forearms. Like they really jack it up. So I just don't do it anymore. I just do leg presses, extensions, hamstring stuff, single leg stuff, Romanian stuff, deadlift stuff, calf raises. It looks good. Like, I understand if you're going to be competing and you want to max out certain lifts, but if you just want to look good, you don't need to do any of that shit. The shift light cover is for night use. I take 10 and whatever, blah, blah, blah. I used to take my pre-workout in the toilet, on the toilet. That niacin and caffeine tear my ass up. D-Rock says, I'm interested to see what the keyway looks like. Who is that? Did Kilometer say that? D-Rock Fox says, Alex, when the gears are taken off and I get the L&M gears on, I'll send pictures of them. Me too. I'd love to see how much meat they took off the shit. I think AED is a division of Wonder Racing. They reuse old parts and blame you. Poop in a porta potty or the gym? The gym. Never the porta john. The porta john where you're stacking shits with your brethren? No, thank you. Tony Sousa says, My 347 made 430 roll horsepower, Victor Jr. 210 heads, 680 solid roller. God damn it. That must have sounded so good. Guys, there is a notchback on Facebook. Boy, I wish I had crazy money. I wish I had crazy fucking money. Where's Marketplace? No, not there. Get out of there. Okay, so let's go to my Marketplace. Wait until you hear this car. I'll show. It's a $50,000 Fox body. But my God, the way it chops, bro, it is serious shit. So let me go to Marketplace and let's see if there's saved. Is there a saved buying, selling vehicles, classifieds, free stuff? Where's my save? Where's my save stuff? Fuck me. 40 items were added. Come on, man. Dude, it was like in Michigan or some shit. Or maybe it was in Florida. I'll type in Fox body. No. How the fuck did I get out of here? Fox body. Wait, there's got to be. I saved it earlier. It was, dude, it was chopping so good. Buying inbox notifications. God damn it. Fox body. It had a solid roller for something. Bro, it was mini tub. It had a nitrous kit. It sounded just dumb. And I'm like, boy, if I had the money. $50,000 though. I think it was a little kooky. Fuck, I can't find it. How do you find, does anyone know how you find your saved? Click on buying. Thank you. It's so stupid. It should just have a saved tab. Buying. Oh my God. Buying. Dude, where the fuck is buying? Oh, come on, dude. You know, this is just unbelievable. Buying. Okay, fuck. Saved. Okay, perfect. Saved. Thank you. Oh, it's in Circleville, Ohio. Listen to this thing chop. $50,000. Facebook Marketplace is just terrible for me. Listen to this thing. Solid roller. I could jerk off to that. I could absolutely jerk off to that. Dude, I wouldn't even race it. I wouldn't give a fuck about racing it. Just come on, stop it. $49,000. Let's look at the info. I think it was like dumb, like stupid, just built this, built that, driven. Here we go. Seller's description. I have a nice black A93 Mustang, good year. Car's a fully built street car with working AC and power steering. Oh, you had me at AC. Pump gas, 427 dart block, trick flow high port head, solid roller comp cams, Edelbrock intake and an elbow, 90mm 80-pound injectors, and 2 nitrous Zex kits, billet bottle brackets with built-in heater, rear mount battery with kill switch aftermarket case, power glide with gear vendors overdrive, shit, PSD drive shaft, built 8.8 35 spline axles, 390 gear, strange brakes on all corners, Viking adjustable shocks, Marilat upper and lower torque boxes. I know I'm missing some, but this is a very nice Fox. Bro. Oh my God, it wasn't even turned on, Carlito, bro. This is a fit. Yep, here's 50. You take my money. Take my fucking money. And when you guys go, well, does it have a coyote in it? It doesn't have to have a coyote. A dart block 427 with a solid roller? Count me the fuck in. Fuck a coyote at that point. Shit, that thing is nasty. Smedding Performance sells a 427 small block 600 horsepower on their engine dyno. Joe Swish, it's a $14 Uber ride, blah, blah, blah. Alex, imagine your old 3-valve with a coyote in it now. Dear Fox, do you have a Wonder Bread engine? Yes, he does. I'm gay and I love the PCM Tech Ghost Cam feature. I get it. Don't feel bad glass with coyote. I'm right with you. Now, Second Shift Racing just put out a video. Teal chops harder. On another note, I can't find Shinobi locally, but I've run across Star Trek for Sega Genesis. No, I am not interested in Star Trek for Sega Genesis. R&D Diesel. I'll be in town Thursday, but the weather seems rough for a while. No problem. Just stay in touch. If you want to absolutely have me drive one of my dream car bucket list cars, which is a 427, not necessarily a 427, but a Backdraft or Factory 5 Cobra, because the only difference between that and what I want is a hardtop AC twin turbo and a Coyote. You know? Alex, check the link I just posted where? Tony Souza. Posted where? Where'd you post it? Did you email me? Did you post it on the chat? Fuck, I hate people do that. I love you guys, but, you know, fuck me. I got to stop the show, come to a screeching halt to find something. Backdraft Cobra overview. Hey, oh, Rich, this is him. I'm all for having you take it for a spin. I'm located in Loxahatchee. I travel a lot, but I'm sure I can find time out for that schedule. Oh, guys. Bro, if I get to review this fucking car, we finna slide on the ops with it. Oh, shit, bro. You're a little wild with the blue, but I'll take it. Oh, this guy got money. First of all, he lives in Lox, so he's got land. Second of all, he can afford bad taste. Oh, my God. He's got the crazy shit. Bro, this thing looks gnarly. The blue, though. Sheesh. Oh, fuck. This guy got money. He got a gate back there. Fuck. Good for you, bro. Hey, good for you. I'm never going to make fun of the fact that he's doing way better than me. Hey, if I can meet people with some money, maybe it can rub off on a brother. Do you know what I'm saying? Your life is on the line. What are you watching to save it? Dragon Ball Z or Disney Star Wars? Can I get shot in the head? Like, can you just shoot me in the fucking head? Sleeve, full build from scratch. Sounds like Shelby Daytona might check off those boxes for you. Alex, if you had a second-gen manual with a Roush 2.3, what else would you throw at it to make over 700 horsepower? Look, in my opinion, the Roush 2.3 whips up so fast that the knock sensors are not happy over 650 rear wheel horsepower at about 0.77 lambda at 15 degrees. It just starts to complain 15 or 16 degrees. Unless you have insanely sweet fuel, meaning great octane, like in North Carolina, Louisiana, Texas, Puerto Rico, I wouldn't really shoot for 700 real horsepower on pump gas. Honestly, I think because it whips up so quickly, it has a hard time with the cylinder pressure at those low RPMs. I would actually opt for you to keep it at 10 PSI, which yields you with free-flowing exhaust about 650 horsepower before the knock sensors start to complain. So an 80 millimeter pulley or a 79 millimeter pulley, 120 millimeter cold air intake from PMAS, and 56 pound injectors. If you want 700 horsepower safely, E85 ID1050X's return soft fuel system. Frank the Tank says, she stacks sick ass Cobra. Tell me you're rich without telling me you're rich. He's got an F2 or 350 or 150 with blue ugly wheels, but he can afford to have bad taste. That's the good thing about people like that. Trompeta Inte, what happened to that girl uncomplimented your cheekbones? What happened to that girl that complimented your cheekbones? I don't know what you're talking about. R&D Diesel says, that was before I had a kid. Yes. See, that's a great point, R&D Diesel. A lot of people in the complex and the haters, they say 1-1, 2-2, you ain't got it popping. I have these vehicles and I have this channel. The last thing I need is a big, massive house that I need to take care of. Grass. How much is hey, R&D Diesel, tell me how expensive or how much time it takes just to cut the grass at your place. Just the landscaping. Big fucking money. If I got an air conditioning issue, I call motherfuckers. They take care of the shit same day. So a lot of people in the complex go, how do you afford all these cars? I go, I don't have kids. And they're like, yeah, that makes sense. That's how expensive it is to have kids. That people understand why you can afford a GT500, a ZR1, a 13 GT, building a potential 7-second Fairmont and an Escalade. They go, we get it. Thank you, Ideas. Appreciate you. Dear Fox, how many miles passes still good? Dude, kilometers. He didn't even get it off of idle and slow revs. His new motor built by you-know-who did not even make it past idle and slow revs. Why? Bank 2, I think, was showing a 30% lean condition. The shop suspects that there's an issue with the cam timing because that whole bank is down on compression than the other bank. The tune is the same because the math injectors and blower all stayed the same. They just refreshed the motors with some cams and stuff, and now there's issues. So we know it's not the tune, because on the previous motor, there was no issue. He can afford to have a bad taste is the level of income I hope to achieve. Did you actually get to enjoy yourself on the 4th? Did you end up working on the cars all day? Coyote Kelly, I enjoyed myself. I had a good time. He means your ex that recorded the ZR1 exhaust video after you changed it. Complex girl? He means your ex that recorded. Yeah, that she went away. 100% facts. That's cheaper than rent. The best 3-197 suspension setup. Anthony, can you fucking please tell me what you want to do? What do you mean street? What's the best street S197 suspension setup? Stock. Stock. To drive it on the street? Stock. To race it on the street? Drag race or roll race? God damn it. How can I teach this kid? Bro, the cooling fan went out on my fridge. That's what you'll have to deal with as a homeowner. You know how? People, they're in business because there's always, why are other tuners in business? Why are other Ford Coyote tuners in business? Real simple. They don't know yet. There's always a new crop of dudes coming in, and unfortunately, they have to go through the growing pains of figuring out, look, this is something that happens all the time. Where is it? I made a list. There are people that have gone through this exact same scenario. I don't like Alex. Alex sucks. Exactly, kilometers. How exactly? Tens of thousands of dollars. They go through the growing pains. I don't like Alex. Let's say you don't like me. I don't like him. He's too loud. He's a mouthpiece. Scott Hasty, you're telling me you with a fucking lidiophile. A fucking lidiophile. Calling yourself a tuner. A lidiophile. A Whipple Gen 1 lidiophile. Please be quiet, little man. Please. Calling me a mouthpiece. And then you go, I don't like Lund because Alex is there. So you go to the other tuners. And then this issue. Then that issue. Then another issue, and then you hold your nose because you've heard so many negative things on Mustang 6G, on the S550 forums, on all these vendors that talk shit on Lund because I'm here, let's just say. And you're like, God damn it, let me just try them. And then you submit a tune order form. Beep. You pay. 2 hours later, Nardi grabs it. Hey, looks to be straightforward. Your tune should be in the queue. Hang tight, a tuner will be with you shortly. Comes to my list. Hey, how you doing? Tune attached. Please read these very detailed instructions with videos. Here's a attachment with the tune. Here's attachment with a login config or an RTD link or whatever. And get me all these instructions. If you're not retarded, you read the instructions and you go, I get it. You do it. You log it. The tuner goes, everything looks great. How's the car running? And you go, actually, it's running really fucking great. So then you come to this realization. Is everyone just hating Lund because they're hating Lund? Or is everyone just a hater without... Because everyone that hates Lund, especially on those groups, would love to be Lund tuned. Would love to be part of the Lund camp. Would love to be in the Lund umbrella. And the ones that aren't hate on Lund. Make cartoons, make jokes, make fun of me. That's fine. I can take it. I'm a public figure. Who the fuck are you? You're nobody. So when you've heard all these negative things about Lund, and then you finally get a Lund tune, you're happy. I'm going to read you an email. An email that came to me on the Alex Flores page on Facebook. And this one was actually very telling. And it made me kind of like, not chuckle, but it made me go, how many people have this experience? A lot. This guy named Matt says, I hate to bother you, but I've read a lot about you. I have a 2023 Mustang with a JLT intake and Cook's 2 7/8 headers. He meant inch and 7/8 headers. I was running a Lund tune until I put headers on and the engine light kicked on. And I sent the Lund a message saying that they could not turn off the light. Again, when you get catless headers on your car, you get PO 420, 430 codes. The EPA does not let us manipulate any emissions controls. So he said, Lund, I sent Lund a message and they said we couldn't do anything about the light. So I went to a local dyno tuner and he took care of everything. And now, just here and there, when I'm shifting down to first gear and push the clutch into stop, the car just dies. Cranks back up, but fine. Never had an issue with Lund, and now I am having an issue. And the tuner it's saying it's got to be a vacuum leak or plugs or something else. I wouldn't mind going back to Lund, but I don't want to check engine light on. What did I say? Lund operates within EPA guidelines. Lund will not bypass emissions controls as it's illegal to do so. Run the Lund tune if you want the best performance possible. And he said, do you think it's even a possibility for it to be vacuum leak considering it was perfectly fine with the Lund tune? That's what the tuner said I'm on because he claimed it was impossible that it was his tune. And I agree, I preferred the Lund tune over this one. This happens over and over and over in this industry. People will hold their nose, get a Lund tune, and all of a sudden everything is fine. And they're like, all this shit I heard about the Lunds is bullshit because my personal experience with Lund is very positive. So I tell you, if you want to go get tuned somebody else, please get tuned by somebody else. Because nobody sells Lund tunes better than other tuners. Laugh massive, I'm copying the S197 build you're doing, hoping to go 10s. Kids equals no money. I pay around $2,500 a month between daycare, sports, health insurance, and other random costs. I love my daughter and wouldn't change anything, but wow, it's a lot. I get it. Man, D-Rock Fox probably can't afford just to switch motor builders. I feel for him badly. I would donate to him, honestly. Donate to me. I'm the one that's fucking out $12,000 too. You are donating. I appreciate you. I've watched way too many YDBT videos. Steeda Stop the Hop Kit, Steeda. Anthony needs sideshow suspension. Imagine not using Lund Racing because you don't like Alex. That's my favorite. Like, you are playing yourself. And if you end up being my customer at Lund Racing, you will have the best fucking attentive, responsive, responsible tuner you'll ever meet. But you think because I talk shit on the internet, I suck? Cool. With your lidiophile. Get the fuck out of here. Looking down on you, looking down. Everything I say goes over your head. I love that line from Drake. You got to get in contact with, can I be frank, to review some cars? Nah, that's a lot of Miami motherfuckers down there. I don't get along with them, to be honest with you. Not that I hate them. There's just an attitude that I don't like. If you immediately rule out any hater that has never done business with Lund, I bet the list gets pretty small. Ridiculous to hate with no first-hand experience. Performance shops make so much money off guys like that. Hey, let's have a manual 6th gen Camaro. What's good suspension? I had no idea. Camaro. Went with Lund over Bama. I heard Bama sucks from Mustang enthusiasts. I went with good enough performance because I knew what I was getting. And guess what? Car runs great. Good enough is excellent. I recommend them if you want a local tuner with your SET device. Lund rules the Alabama Coyote world. No one can compete with Lund tuned cars at the track. El Verga says, I guess Lund haters are two types of people. Dummies who expect their handheld or people desperate to be outside the box. Wish you could elaborate on the EPA guidelines. I'll end it there. The EPA does not have clear guidelines. You understand? That's the issue. They give you vague definitions of what tampering is. And when they went to Congress, they could not give definitive answers as to what tampering is. If I tune your car and you get better miles per gallon, less NOx, less pollution coming out the exhaust, and the car performs better, the EPA says it's tampering. The guidelines are ridiculously loose. All the homies hate Scott. Yeah, that guy's the worst. Like, that guy's the worst. Alex has me tuned the same day, no issues. Hits me with any concerns? Nope. Let's party, says Killshot Racing. Toby talked about how when he switched from the GT500 record to Lund, he got the drive mode and rev match back. That's funny. He's a good guy. I talked to him at the gym. He genuinely wants to learn. Maybe the videos are cringy to you guys, but Toby genuinely wants to learn. That's when I talked to him. I looked at him and I'm like, this guy's not a dumbass. He genuinely wants to learn and he asks the right questions. I've been watching since the days of Facebook and the Mustang meets and the plastic dip. EPA, you're out of here. EPA sounds like the ATF. Can't give straight answers. 10 already, Nick. Hey, Alice, can you add 91 on an E85 tune to not run it hard just to clean the system? It'll harm it. If it's tuned for E85 and you put 91 in it, you're going to run it rich. I would run a dedicated E91 tune, run it for a tank, and it'll clean the system because it's basically a solvent. Any YDBT meet and greets? Not for a while. Dio, do y'all receive a lot of tune orders from Louisiana? Yes, we do. JD Swag says, my buddy put me onto your channel before I got the tune. The best thing that happened to me and understand and learn about the Coyote stuff. Also, all the other stuff is complimentary. I'm out of here, guys. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with me. Again, a lot of stuff to talk about. Thank you for the Amory for defending me online. The haters are going to just do whatever to get some attention. The S550 support group is going to just... I could like mispronounce a word and they'll make a whole video of me mispronouncing a word. But that's the thing. You're making videos about me. Nobody is making videos about you. Have a good rest of your day. I will be here on Tuesday, Talking Shit Tuesday. Talk some shit, hang out. The Corvette will be here Wednesday, so expect videos on the Corvette from here on out. Hopefully we can get that sucker at the track. Maybe we can bust off a low 5 second 60 to 130 and a 9 second quarter mile run. We'll see what happens once it gets here with the new Ben Kellemer transmission, the RPS clutch, and the now late model performance tune on Flex. Gonna be a good time. Have a good one, guys. See you guys later. Bye.